My name is Nachum Segal, and this is the Nachum Segal Network. And today we are at the Barkan Experience at the Barkan Vineyards in the Shvelat Yehuda, the Judean plain here in Israel. We have plenty coming up, including our hosts discussing the Barkan Vineyard Experience. We'll talk about this magnificent facility, and I'm surrounded by barrels of wine. Could you imagine? It's all coming up. Keep it right here at NachumSegal.com. This is the Nachum Segal Network.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. 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 הוא יעשה שלום, הוא יעשה שלום, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. הוא יעשה שלום, הוא יעשה שלום, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל ישראל, אמרו אמן. אמן, אמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, הוא יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל ישראל, אמרו אמן, אמן.
Sheva with Oseh Shalom. Here we are. We have finally made it to the Barkan Vineyards after hearing for years and years how incredible an experience it is to visit Barkan. We are finally here. The kibbutz is called Kibbutz Hulda. Many of you may be familiar with the geography, with the region. And the Barkan's vineyards have something called the Barkan Experience here at their Wine Experience Center. If you're watching, you see how there are barrels and barrels of wine behind me. And next to me is Nani Vandenberg, who is the head wine guide at Barkan. Shalom. Thank you for being with us today.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You're here.
You, in fact, are the chief wine guide. You know how to welcome people properly to a vineyard.
This is my job.
I greatly appreciate that. How long has Barkan been here in this area?
We opened the visitor center 3.5 years ago. Well,
Very
3 years
nice.
ago. Chol Hamoed Pesach. We have a birthday coming up.
Mazal tov.
But the winery itself, they moved here from Ariel in 2000.
Very nice, and it's quite a facility. This place is magnificent.
Yes, they took the idea from actually one of the wineries in Napa Valley, Opus One, the Mondavi winery. So if you look around, it's basically in the shape of a barrel. So when visitors are coming, they're walking alongside the barrel.
Right.
They watch a movie inside the barrel, so they feel like they're already aging like one of our good wines. And then afterwards, we take people to the barrel hall. They see the bottling. It's a very nice facility.
It must be incredible, and it's open to everybody, right? They can even those who are underage when it comes to drinking can come and see the experience, right?
No, according Israeli law, the age of 18, I cannot serve under the age of 18, but we give children obviously grape juice.
Right, I can understand that. But my point was that families can come and enjoy it together and see everything, etc.
Yes.
etc. How many wines does Barkan have at this point?
Last harvest, we got to 12 million bottles.
Pretty amazing. And how many different varieties?
We work with about 25, 30 different varieties.
And what seems to be the most popular Barkan wine?
Most popular, Cabernet Sauvignon here in Israel is the most popular. So we have our reserve, special reserve, classic. By variety, Cabernet Sauvignon is the most popular in Israel.
Right, and the barrels that people are watching right now,
they're full with wine.
Right, those are all filled with wine. They're active barrels that you would, as you would call them, and they're all those 20-some varieties could be in there.
Yes.
Obviously, they're labeled properly, so you can keep track of what's going on back there.
There's labels on each barrel.
Okay, so there you go. So everybody who comes, they can actually keep track of what's happening here at the winery. And any idea how many barrels are there? There are behind?
You want to have a guess?
I mean, I have no clue. I don't know where to start counting even. I mean, what?
You can throw me a guess.
I don't know. There are 1,000 barrels there?
No.
2,000?
Go up.
20,000?
No.
So somewhere between 2 and 20.
Yes.
There we've determined
6,500 barrels.
6,500 barrels of wine. For those of you who love a good wine, can you imagine? You get to do what I'm doing and sit in the middle of 6,500 barrels of wine. Nani Vanderberg is with us. She is the head wine guide here at the Barkan Vineyard Experience. So what's the reaction been? How have families enjoyed this experience when they come and spend time here?
No, it's such a beautiful facilities, and we do also events here. You can do a bar mitzvah, the table we're sitting, you can do a bar mitzvah, sheva brachot, weddings. You have any kind of option besides the standard tours that we do here.
And I would assume you serve a lot of other things then besides wine.
Obviously. But the focus obviously is on our wines.
You bring in the caterers and they take care of the rest.
Yes.
And now Pesach is on the way. So what's this period of time like for you? Is it much
very busy.
I can only imagine.
Here in Israel, when we drink the most wine.
Right.
Here in
Pesach
Israel,
time.
Pesach, Rosh Hashanah.
Right.
So obviously we have on Chol HaMoed Pesach, we do a lot of family activities. The children can come. They can make their own label.
Nice.
They get obviously they don't get the wine. They get the grape juice to take home. And in Chol HaMoed Sukkot, basically we have manual harvesting for families also.
Right. What about these? There's a store involved in this thing, right? People could actually go and buy wine.
Yes.
But are there other accessories as well? Are there a lot of fun stuff in there?
Any kind of, because besides wines, we also produce here arak. We have the brandy barrels on both of our sides also.
That's a very serious drink, arak.
Yes, it's very, very popular.
It is very
especially in the last few years, especially with American yeshiva students in Jerusalem.
This is what we discover when we visit Barkan, that the American yeshiva boys are coming here.
It used to be vodka, but at the moment is Arak Ashkelon, which we produce here.
Which is more responsible, vodka or Arak?
They're both 40% alcohol proof. Yeah.
Arak is that high?
It's very, very high.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
What can people find on your website? What could they learn about the winery when they visit the Barkan website?
Basically, you have the list of all the different series of wines that we have, and then there's a separate category for bookings for the visitor center.
Right. Now, if someone, because we have a lot of listeners who are going to be hearing this and seeing this, and they're on their way to Israel next week, can they still reserve for Chol HaMoed?
Yes.
Even though we're a week away, they can still reserve and come.
Here in general in Israel, they book always last minute. So you have people even showing up on the day itself. So we do, especially on Chol HaMoed Pesach, that people can even come on the same day.
The website, the web address is barkan-winery.co.il. That's barkan-winery.co.il. That's where you can get information about all of this. and you can check out what the Wine Experience Center is all about. You have in front of you 2 different wines.
Yeah, well,
what do
we
you-
forgot, we opened the wine and
Yeah,
we
would
didn't even drink.
Would be nice to get the drinking going
Yeah,
here.
you know.
We're already 10 minutes into the show. Who thought it would
Yes.
take this long? That's a special reserve. What? What is that
Special
called?
Reserve, it's a series, here you go.
Thank you very much.
It's a series that came out in the US last Passover,
Yeah.
but here in Israel it's already for 2 years already in the market.
And it's called?
This is, it's Special Reserve, but we have different varieties. So this is our Chardonnay. We
Okay.
also have Sauvignon Blanc. 2013 vintage.
Was that a good year between me and you?
Was a good year.
Was a good year.
Was a good year.
Nothing spectacular, but a solid year.
A solid year, yes. But this you can talk
I
with
like
the
making
winemakers.
believe I know something about this stuff. That's great.
You want to smell the wine?
We will speak.
Okay.
I'd love to smell the wine.
Okay.
It does. It
No,
smell
it's a
like.
beautiful color also.
Yes, it is. It looks and smells
Okay.
like a very nice vintage.
No,
I don't know
yes.
why you said solid. I'm leaning towards spectacular. I don't know. Wow.
Smells great.
Imagine that.
Yes.
I never thought I'd
L'chaim.
smell one. L'chaim, l'chaim.
Yes.
Enjoy. Barei pri agafen. Now that's the way to start a day.
And these are grapes that coming from the Judean hills. We have
you go.
vineyards all over the country.
Including on this very spot.
Yes, actually, when you drove up this morning, this is the largest vineyard in the country. It's
Really?
about 500 acres vineyard. But we have vineyards spread all over, from the border with Lebanon, Dovev, in the area of Tzfat, Kerem Ben Zimra. We have also, obviously, in the Jerusalem hills, Judean hills. We have in the desert, Mitzpe Ramon. And we have towards Bet Guvrin, Lachish area, we have also another large vineyard.
It's pretty amazing. I'm amazed at how many vineyards there are in general in Israel to begin with, and all these boutique wineries and wineries that are constantly popping up. But you have some all around the country, which is pretty amazing. Tell me about the conditions in this area. Oh, everyone always talks about that the different soil and texture, and
Okay.
it always affects the kind of wine. We are
Sure,
we are
sure.
drinking what type of wine because of the grapes of this area?
Okay, the area here in Kibbutz Hulda, because we're central Israel and it's pretty warm region,
Right.
the soil is different. So the best quality wines, you need to think of Upper Galilee, Golan Heights, and the Judean Hills. But again, every vintage is different.
Right.
So we had few years ago here a vintage of extraordinary wine that came from this vineyard, which is a warmer region, but still, you never know. Every vintage,
Right. You never know.
yeah.
A little bit hit or miss. You do some tastings yourself. You have the experts out there.
Yes, that's
who are
part of the
tasting all the
tours.
time.
Yeah, that's part of the tours also. When people obviously they do the tour,
Right.
they will not leave the building until they drink a couple of
Right.
wines.
Understood. But I'm saying that your experts will go ahead and they will taste different things, and they will sometimes be surprised themselves at
Okay.
certain vintages, right? How
Sure,
good they are
sure,
and
sure.
how well they're developing. That's how it works. Barkan Vineyards, the experience happens here. I assume you're open 6 days a week. Or is it 5?
5 days.
5 days, Sunday through Thursday.
till Thursday, and if we have special events, we open also on Friday.
Sunday through Thursday. If you're heading here to the Holy Land for Pesach, you want to check out the Barkan experience, you can go to the website barkan-winery.co.il. That's barkan-winery.co.il. You have another wine that's next to you over there.
Okay.
What is that one called? The special reserve?
It's a special reserve, but it's a Merlot.
Mm.
Okay, I just need.
We have
another
Chardonnay, we have
glasses.
Merlot. There's no shortage of glasses here, I can tell you that much.
This is very important. The glass is important also.
You see that?
Yes.
I would notice
we
the
go.
difference of a wine in one type of glass or another type of glass.
You
I'm
want
not
to
that-
do? You want to do a tasting?
I don't know, but I'm not-
check.
I'm not that sophisticated, frankly. I don't think I could tell the difference.
This is, you don't need to have 100 different kinds of glasses at home. This is a standard tasting glass.
Right.
So when you swirl the glass, you get all the different aromas going. Put your nose deep into the glass. Take a deep sniff. Now, obviously, if it's a smaller glass, it's harder to put your nose inside also.
Alright.
So you cannot smell the wine as such. So basically, you don't need 100 types of glasses at
Tell
home.
me what I'm smelling. How come I can't identify
Okay.
it? What is that?
Okay.
What's in there?
Now, basically...
It's driving me crazy. I can't figure it out.
Okay.
What is that?
I have a list, if you want, from my studies, that helps you to recognize different aromas in wine. It's called the aroma wheel, and basically it helps you to recognize wines.
I think I need that.
You need that?
Yeah, I think
okay. Now,
It's
but
like
you
training
can.
wheels. I need the aroma wheel.
But it's very subjective also, like I can tell you, I can smell here any kind of dark red fruit, maybe some strawberries, maybe some black currant.
I got some plum.
Could be.
I got
It
some
could
plum in there.
It could be plum,
Yeah.
it's subjective, know.
I'm a bigger expert than I thought.
Okay,
I
you see?
I
You
feel
see?
that plum aroma. I'm telling
And
you.
maybe you feel maybe something kind of an aroma of the barrels that are behind us because we have French and American oak.
That could be dominating the smell here?
Yes. That
Well,
will
that's
help
unfair
also.
that
Yeah.
smell interferes with this
Yeah.
smell. What can
and
we
American
do about
oak smells different to French oak. Yes. French is more expensive, obviously. As everything French, it's more expensive. But we have about 80% of French oak behind us, and about 20% of American oak.
How old's the oldest barrel behind me?
No, here, because we want the wine to age optimally, we use of an aging cycle between 1 to 2 years only.
That's it.
We don't want to over oak our wines.
Interesting.
Yeah. So up to 1 to 2 years, and then we reuse the barrels up to 6 years. So it's 3 cycles.
And that's it.
And then basically we discard the barrels. We just don't throw it on the street.
Understood.
No. We basically sell it to smaller garage wineries or to private people.
All right, so it's valuable to somebody, but
Yes.
you want to use fresh barrels.
Yeah.
It's funny
Up to 6 years.
Right, because when wine is involved, we're always thinking of, the older the better, but there is something in the process that cannot be old.
Yeah.
It has to be new. All right, there you have it. Anything else we need to know about the Barkan experience?
No, just come over.
Everyone should come and
Yeah.
enjoy. It is an experience, and you'll see just how amazing this place is. Again, the website, barkan-winery.co.il. Nani Vandenberg is the head wine guide at the Barkan Vineyards here in Israel. Toda rabah.
בכיף.
And Chag Kasher V'Sameach.
גם לכם.
There you have it. She's getting ready for a tremendous holiday of Pesach that's coming up. We'll take this musical break. Be back with plenty more. It's the Nachum Segal Network. Barkan Vineyards is where we're at in the Holy Land in Israel. Keep it here at NachumSegal.com.
Open my lips to sing your praise, my heart to feel the joy. Let me have the gift for which I'm yearning. Another night in Israel. Desert flowers blooming in the spring, the grapes upon the vine. Let me walk the beaches in the moonlight. Let me fall in love in Israel. Wherever you go, I will go. Having to follow my heart, riding the wings that will carry me home. Wherever you live, I will live. If just to breathe in the air, you'll find me in Israel. Israel. Lift up my eyes to see the day of plowshares from our swords. A time to mend, a time to gather stones, a time for peace in Israel. Let me hear the voice of bride and groom, of laughter in the streets. Answer the prayers of our children, so they need not fear in Israel. Wherever you go, I will go. Having to follow my heart, riding the wings that will carry me home. Wherever you live, I will live. I long to see the people, I want to share the dream, to reach across the distance. It's closer than it seems. Wherever you go, I will go. Having to follow my heart, riding the wings that will carry me home. Wherever you live, I will live. If just to breathe, you'll find me in Israel. You'll find me in Israel.
All right, it's an Nachum Segal Network as we continue with our Barkan experience. That's right, we're having an experience of our own here at the Barkan Winery. The Wine Experience Center is in the Judean Valley of Israel, the Judean Plain, I should say, Shvelat Yehuda. And those of you who are coming to Israel for the big holiday of Pesach, we have a tremendous suggestion for you. Spend one of your days of Chol Hamoed coming to the Barkan Experience. You'll see some of what we have right behind us. You can see it on the video right behind us, these incredible wine barrels. And, of course, you'll have an opportunity to taste some of the delicious wines and to enjoy some of them this Chol Hamoed. You can check out the website, barkan-winery.co.il, barkan-winery.co.il. I want to take this opportunity and thank some of the people who've been so helpful to us during this journey to the Holy Land, including the Inbal Hotel in Yerushalayim with Alex Herman and company. A big thank you to the Inbal Hotel for hosting us, as they always do. A thank you to Travel Cell and our friend Josh Melman, who, again, is responsible for us being in touch with the United States all through this journey, and I thank him very much for that. And you can check out our friends at Travel Cell as you rent your phones and all your other equipment for your big Pesach trip to Israel at travelcell.com. And a big thank you to our staff, including our chief engineer, ZK, and, of course, PC Guy. And I have been outlining for you all the variety of ways that PC Guy can be helpful no matter where you are in the world, including, of course, in Yerushalayim. And give him a call, and he'll take good care at 054-943-6109, 054-943-6109, or check out the website, thepcguy.co.il. Again, that's thepcguy.co.il for information. We are here at the Barkan Vineyards in Israel, and Ed Solzberg is the chief winemaker, and he's stepping in and joining us in our makeshift studio in front of his barrels of wine. Shalom. Welcome. And if I may, I appreciate that. There we go. Thank you very much for being here today and for hosting us here at the Barkan Winery.
Well, the winery is very glad to have you. We are very proud to be working in association with Kedem, which is the, by all manners of thought, the leading kosher establishment in the United States and North America and probably in the world. And we're very, very happy to be part of their family.
How long have you been part of their family?
Oh, about 20 years.
Very nice. And how does one first dream about and then realize the dream of becoming a winemaker?
It's like Willie Mays said. It's like, falling off a log.
That's it?
Yep.
Simple as that. You knew this was what you wanted to do?
No.
It just, you fell into it?
Yeah, it happened. It was a good idea in 1972. I thought I'd check it out. I wound up at Davis. And, I'm here for it.
And Davis means on the West Coast?
Yeah, the University of California at Davis. And, 42 years later, here I am.
How's the experience been for you?
Thrilling.
What was the first bottle of wine you ever made?
Well, I guess in 1975, when I was an assistant at Inglenook, they let me do second picking in old vines which were planted in the 1930s right after Prohibition. So I picked a couple garbage cans with wine on a Sunday and made it in the basement, and it turns out really good.
What did we call it?
What did I call it? I called it wine.
That was about it, huh? Homemade wine. What made you think that Israel would be a good place to expand your wine career?
I didn't. I thought Israel would be a good place to be as a Jew.
Right.
And while I was here, everybody said, Chaval, it's a shame not to continue your wine career.
Right.
So instead of being a kibbutznik or Talmud Chacham, I wound up as a winemaker here.
Right. And how did you and Barkan get together?
Well, let's see. In 1995, they offered the winery I was working at try to sell themselves to Shmuel Boxer. About 2 weeks later, he came up and he caught me in Tel Aviv at some kind of occasion, and he said they want to sell the winery. And we did an evaluation, and there's nothing there that's worthwhile except you. Would you like to come? So,
the rest is history?
Well, it's, it'll be 19 years next month.
Right. 20, actually, if it's...
I've been here, I started in 1996,
right.
So it'll be in
years.
May, 19 years, yeah.
Right. The holiday of Pesach is coming up.
Oh, yeah.
And you know that American Jewry, just like Jews around the world, spend a lot of time preparing their Passover wines. Is every wine that we are tasting here today available in the United States?
I don't know what you've tasted, and I don't know whether true or not. I really can't say. I'd imagine that they probably arrange the wines that are available in the United States. There wouldn't be much it wouldn't be much logic in bringing wines that wouldn't. Excuse me, I've been here long enough that I don't speak any languages the way it should.
That's fine, but my question really is if the international community has taken to all the different varieties that Barkan makes at this point, or I don't know, do we have different tastes than they have in this side of the world?
People still want to drink Cabernet and Merlot. You can throw a lot of great wines at them, but they want to buy Cabernet and Merlot. Everybody's trying to expand. We make a huge number of very good wines, but they still want to see Cabernet on the label.
And how many Cabernets do you think, how many bottles do you think you make in a year?
It depends on how we have, I really don't remember. We have a large number of series of wines, and each series there is Cabernet.
Right.
I think we make maybe 10, 12 different types of Cabernets, and each one, and some of them are very limited, 10,000 bottles, and some are millions of bottles.
Right. So some of those varieties are sold out, and it depends on the vintage and I guess the harvest, etc. Right?
Well, my job is to overcome the
challenges.
Yep.
The obstacles.
The challenges.
Are they overcomeable?
Well, I'm still here. Nobody's fired me yet.
So you'd have to assume you've done a pretty good job at it so far.
No.
Do you have a favorite of all these wines?
Nope.
There's no such thing.
Nope.
You think they're all
the
good?
The standard answer is it's like asking me to choose between my children. That's my favorite. But basically the answer is for any one particular occasion, there are a large number of wines which would be suitable and which would be pleasant. And I approach the problem more as a challenge of trying to do a good job for every particular assignment,
right?
For every particular niche, for every type of wine, to make the best possible solution. And I feel the same kind of accomplishment that somebody who repairs. My grandfather used to repair fenders. He worked with that, and when he finished repairing a fender and he did a good job, he was very satisfied with himself. But he didn't go out to put it in the exposition in Montreal of the best fender repairs.
Right.
And I have the same kind of attitude. I have the satisfaction of knowing that for every niche, for every level, we've done the best we can, and it's our whole emphasis, that's the word, emphasis, is to make for every particular line of wine something that is the best possible value for someone's money.
And if the kosher consumer around the world likes those Cabs and Merlots best, that doesn't bother you. That's their tendency, and that's fine with you. Those are the children of yours they seek out the most.
I don't find myself either qualified or able or interested in changing what people want.
Right, understood.
Well, my job is to supply what they want.
Right. And if they keep demanding those two varieties and others, you're going to do your best to supply them as best you can.
Oh, that's for sure.
And as hefty a rate as possible. What is what would be the biggest surprise for an American winemaker to find out about making wine in Israel? Is it something about the land, the temperature? What would be the biggest adjustment an American winemaker would have to make if they came to make wine in this land?
Let me pass on that.
Are there differences, though? There's got to be.
Oh, yeah.
California ain't Israel.
Well, I don't want to. I'd rather not answer.
Okay. It sounds like some trade secrets.
No.
Could be revealed. Well, Ed Salzberg is the chief winemaker here at the Barkan Winery. Please invite all our listeners to come and visit you and enjoy the experience here.
Well, I'd be happy to have everyone who wants to come. We have this visitor center here, which has been built on a tremendous investment, and it's probably the most impressive visitor center for wineries in Israel.
It's remarkable.
And we'd be more than happy to have everyone and every person who wants to come and visit and taste. We'd be happy to have them.
Thank you for welcoming us in Chag Sameach. Toda Rabba. Ed Salzberg, he's the chief winemaker at Barkan, and that's where we are at the Barkan Experience here in Israel in the Shvelat Yehuda. And you are all invited to participate. You can get information by going to the web at barkan-winery.co.il, barkan-winery.co.il. More coming up. We'll be tasting more wines in a moment. This is the Nachum Segal Network. It's the Nachum Segal Network. Here we are at the Barkan Winery in Israel. Could you imagine? Final day of our broadcasts, and couldn't end in a better way than with a great visit to Barkan. Jay Buchsbaum was right. He said this place is spectacular. He has given us an accurate report. We're about to do some wine tasting. That means Miriam Al-Wallach must join us. You got to get over here. I mean, I have an opinion when it comes to wine. She has like 30 opinions when it comes to wine. I'm not going to pass on that. You have nothing to do with wine?
I have 30 opinions having nothing.
That's also true. She says yes, she has 30 opinions. Nothing to do with wine. We are speaking with Irit Baxter-Shank, who is a winemaker here at the Barkan Winery. Irit, shalom.
Shalom.
Thank you very much for welcoming us here today. Zach Meltzer is the youngest winemaker, I am told, on the Barkan property and the Barkan company.
Yep.
How are you, sir?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me.
American born and bred?
No, not at all.
Where are you from?
Israeli born and
Are you Israeli born and bred?
Yeah.
Your English is so good, you fooled me. How do you like that?
That's what I'm aiming for.
Imagine that. And we have Miriam Al-Wallach to my right. You focused on her for a moment? She's our wine expert. Okay, so here we go. Irit, we're a week away from Pesach, actually a little bit more than a week, and we've already tried a couple of wines. You heard our segment
the
earlier.
special reserves.
We tried a couple of things. Yeah, we like starting with the special. It's our policy when we go on the road. We start with these special reserves. So we started with the special reserves wine. There are others, though. What could you introduce us to? What could you tell our listeners about? Which wines?
There are many.
Let's bring one of them. Let's bring one of them down here and see what we've got.
One of my favorite series that we make is the Assemblage. It's a series of blends, Assemblage in French, blend,
Gotcha.
and it's regional blends. So it's very Israeli. It's for food. So for Passover, it's one of my best recommendations to have. That's why it's a...
Does it go with the traditional Passover meal?
Definitely.
It does.
Yeah.
It matches well with the food we eat on Seder night. Just checking. All right, so it seems Miriam Wallach is very anxious to have a glass of that wine, so maybe we should pass her one. Let's start pouring some of that assemblage.
Yeah, let's go with the Eitan.
Assemblage.
Let's try the Eitan first.
Oh, that's the one we're trying first?
Yeah, we're doing from the light to the heavy. That's how we do wine.
Is that a fat joke?
They
I'm just kidding.
they have sympathy on me. They know it's much easier for me to start with the light wines and work my way up and start with the heavier ones.
Don't worry, I'm driving.
So this is, and let's get a nice shot of this. This is the Eitan, Assemblage Eitan wine from Barkan. I can pour this into any glass?
Yep.
Any glass I want?
Whichever.
Look at that. I'm so experienced. They let me do this myself. Could you imagine?
Is Nachum pouring the wine correctly?
Of course I'm pouring the wine correctly.
No?
He needs to have this twist.
That I'm
Right,
experienced.
there has
heard
to
it?
be a little in the wrist.
Yeah, well, I'm having problems.
By the way, thanks for pouring for me also. I appreciate
Oh, this
it.
one's for you.
No, that's yours.
I said you're going to drink
See, watch.
first. Now,
What did I do? I just poured it correctly?
Zach, how long have you been here at the Barkan Winery?
I've been here for 7 months now.
And someone told me that in order to gain a proper wine education to come and be employed at a winery, you have to leave Israel to do that. Is that accurate?
Well, at the moment it is.
That's the way it is here.
At the moment it is. But then again, Israel universities are starting to employ a winemaking study program.
Really?
Across the country.
So it's going to be soon that you'll be able to do it.
So it is
here.
going to be soon, but then again, when you, as from what I've heard from Irit, from when you look at people that studied abroad and people that studied in Israel, there's a huge difference, especially people coming from Australia or the States.
A higher level of wine education.
A higher level of wine
Simple
education.
as that.
Exactly.
So you got back from being abroad, and you were then prepared to go into the wine workforce over here?
Yeah, I
You
just
had your
came back
degree and
last year,
that was
actually, in
it.
January. Just came back to the country and from studying in Australia in Margaret River.
Right.
And took me about 6 months and got got employed in Barkan Winery.
And the on-the-job experience and sitting with and learning from winemakers who've been doing this for years must be priceless.
It is beyond the fact that I'm sitting with the one of the best winemakers that I've met.
The queen of winemakers.
Queen of winemaking,
My
especially
goodness.
in Israel. This winery is so huge and so big, and it has so many facilities, and the range is just amazing from the varieties of grapes that you work with to the cooperage. The coopers that we work with, we have about 8 or 10 different barrel manufacturers. And it's just an amazing experience.
Yeah, I'd ask you your
that's the
favorite, but
best
I got
school.
yelled at by Ed for asking about a favorite, so I'm not going to ask you. Your
Really?
favorite. Yeah, he was not happy with that question.
Well, if you don't have kids, maybe you can answer that question.
He felt that was a little, I don't know, that was beyond the pale of wine questions. And look what I'm doing. You see what I'm doing? Look at this.
You are swirling the
I am
wine.
actually swirling the wine.
It's great.
And I am going to check out the aroma of this wine.
Jay would be thrilled. What is it about Australians that they know so much about winemaking that people gravitate towards there? I mean, as Americans, we assume, Napa, and you would go to the West Coast if available. But what is it about Australia that's been drawing both of you, that drew both of you to study there?
Well, I can tell you that when I decided that I want to study outside and do it academically, I asked around, and everyone told me that was like the best program available because it was very technical. There is a winery and a vineyard inside the campus. So
That's the way
they
to go
are
to school.
Yeah, definitely. And
So it's a party school.
yeah. I still have pictures of stepping over grapes and drinking
Nice.
beer during studying. So
That's a tough class. We didn't have classes like that at Stern. Okay, so that's the hardcore kind of education. That's
Yeah.
the intense education. The chemical, components to winemaking. It's not. There is a science.
oh yeah, definitely. It's chemistry, microbiology. You have to know the yeast and how they work and everything. There
Way
is a lot
beyond
of
us. Way
yeah.
beyond us.
Nachum, you're nodding as if you knew that there were all these components to winemaking.
No, I know that it's completely beyond my scope. I would not be able to attend the class like that. Now, I have to admit something. We've done shows from wineries in the past, and today I'm having a bad aroma day. I'm having sometimes I smell the wine, I breathe it in. I don't want to use the word smell. I breathe in the wine, and I immediately get an aroma that strikes me. And today I'm having a bad aroma day. It's just not hitting me right away. Zach, am I suffering from something I should know about? Is there a malady or dilemma that's... Yeah?
Are you saying that this is a bad aroma?
No.
No,
What I'm just having a bad day where I
making it
can't
clear.
identify it right away. Like I could smell, that smells familiar.
Oh, I can diagnose
But
it all right.
You can diagnose it? Why am I having a bad aroma day? I need to know. So right now I'm with this. Me and this Eitan Assemblage are spending time together. Right, this delicious wine that's in the Barkan Winery, and I smelled. Zach, give me a hint. Give me a hint. What am I smelling?
You want to go for black fruit. You want to go for some oak.
Yeah.
You
Black
wanna go,
pepper.
Yeah, you want to go for some black pepper. You want to go for
See?
maybe try to think of
What do you got?
Rosemary.
What do you got, Miriam? What do you got?
I'm not sure.
You see, you're suffering from the same
Well,
thing. I am.
remember
First of
we
all,
just opened the bottle,
Oh,
so yeah. When you open the bottle, you need to.
I didn't
give
know
the
there
wine.
was a timing issue on the aroma.
Yeah,
Oh,
this show's
yeah.
gonna go long-
The bottle
definitely
was
hours.
just opened.
Yeah.
Okay, but the first thing I can note is that it is definitely has a different aroma than the other wine that we just tasted.
Oh, that's a start.
Down there on the left. That's next to that bottle of white. That's next to the cheese.
That was,
the bottle
That
of red.
was a
That's next to the
Merlot.
bottle.
Yeah,
Right.
you tasted
The one that I
Special
said
Reserve
plum.
Merlot.
I said plum. to
Right,
that.
and
Yeah.
I said cherries.
Right.
Yeah.
And I said cherries. So I definitely smell that if I have these two next to each other, which is exactly what I have, besides the fact that the color content is completely different, but there's definitely a different aroma.
Yeah.
Blackberry? Can I say blackberry?
Definitely.
I can get away with that. That's a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
answer.
definitely.
That's
Sure,
a
they're
good-
going to smile and nod at anything you
I'm
say.
going to
right now.
applaud for myself because the blackberry answer was in
Good
fact
job, good
correct.
job.
I need
And-
I need that note glossary, that
Yeah,
wheel.
the wine wheel.
Yeah, that Nini was
Yeah.
referring to.
All right.
I don't have the language for
L'chaim,
it.
l'chaim. Let's see how this one tastes.
Chaim.
It's very smooth.
Very smooth. Very,
Very
elegant.
smooth.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably the one thing that you can say about that series is that it's just perfectly balanced. Every single wine from this series is just made to perfection. Really, it's
So
just
how do you know when a wine is not balanced? I mean, how is a novice, like I'm sitting here drinking 2 glasses of wine looking like a big shot, how would I know how would I know that there's some kind of imbalance in the wine? What would I taste or what would be wrong?
Anything that you taste very, very strongly. Like if
Okay.
you smell it and you smell oak, like a lot of oak, that means that it's not balanced. If you drink it and it's too sweet, too sour.
You like how the 3 winemakers are lecturing you on this.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this tremendously.
Well, first of all, when I see you drink wine, the first thing that I notice is the way you hold your glass. I'm sure they are
a little too comfortably?
Our
Yeah.
listeners can't really see that.
Well, they can.
But
They can.
oh, all right.
Over there.
Would you? Yeah.
Why? Is
thank
it
you.
a little too comfortable?
It's very. The glass feels good. Oh, I'm holding it the wrong way on the stem. Oh, because I'm warming up the wine.
Exactly.
Jay taught me that. Jay would be very embarrassed.
See?
Yeah, obviously not a good
So
student.
see,
Yeah, that-
I really
that's
don't
why.
know what I'm doing. Okay.
When it comes to drinking, she seems to know what she's doing. So this is you said this is the lightest of the 3.
It's the more elegant, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
I could see opening up the Pesach Seder with this wine.
Definitely.
I could see that for sure. This is
I'm being asleep by Magid?
no. I could see opening up the Seder. This would be my first cup. Would be this wine.
And
Because-
last. Yeah. I would walk to the Lower East Side to watch you drink a full coast of this.
all right, so that's the Assemblage from Eitan.
Eitan.
Eitan Assemblage 2011.
Yeah.
What-
Again, it's a blend from the Jerusalem hills. That's why it's Eitan. By the way, the name. It's a name of a mountain in the region that we made the blend.
How many
Eitan.
and how big was the harvest? I mean, how many bottles were made in
From this one around 12,000 bottles.
We call that a lot or not?
Well,
That runs out fast,
For
right?
yeah. For us, it's not a lot. For
Yeah.
a big winery, for a small winery, it's a lot.
Can I tell you what happens in the United States when
Yeah.
one of those limited runs? I'm being serious about this. You're going to think I'm joking. And I don't care what the distributor tells you. This is really what happens. When one of these limited runs from Barkan shows up in the U.S., 8,000, 6,000 bottles, whatever it is, somebody or a group of people buy up the entire stock and hoard it for the entire season. And I know you think I'm kidding. I know this for a fact.
These your friends?
No, I'm telling you. I know
connected
that
to one of those?
There are people who look for a limited supply of some great wine to come out, and they're going to pounce on it. I don't know how the retailers cooperate with them, but sometimes they do. And they're going to make sure to have that wine, because there are people who feel that they must have that specific wine throughout the entire season, throughout the entire year. So there you go.
Fair enough.
Now I'm letting you in on a secret of what happens with your wines. That
So
are
you're
limited.
saying
We
not
would call
to
those
say
people
it's
fine
special
checkers.
edition.
Yes, exactly. What'd you say? I'm
So
sorry?
not tell them that it's a special edition and then...
No, I think it's
Take a
legitimate.
black Sharpie and
I
color it on the...
I think it's legitimate to let them know it's a special edition. I just want you to know there's a rush. There's often a
Okay.
rush
Okay.
for those types when people find out that it's in limited supply. So just thought I'd let you know. All right, what do we have next?
All right, let's go next.
That's a fit.
It's a feat.
Yeah, this is
This
the
is,
wild card. That's a fit. Yeah, it's one of my favorite wines to make. Definitely.
Now I'm going to try to pour this like Eitan.
Am I going to horrify you by
I mean, like
pouring one
Zach.
into the other?
No.
Eitan's the one.
As long
That's-
as you won't.
No,
drink
this
it.
is wrong, right? This would be
You
wrong.
can try that at the end and see.
Like this.
There it goes.
But this is wrong also. This is too like a balabait. Right? This is wrong.
Hi, I have no idea.
No, look, when
I'm
you
learning
try
how
to
to
pour a
swirl the
wine.
Would it be better to pour it like this or keep
No.
it on the
Just
table?
Never touch the glass, and
Never-
no matter what
Okay,
you
so
do.
while Nachum is
Stand back from
properly
the
or improperly pouring the wine, as the
So-
case may be, how bad or
Alright,
what does it really
that
do to
was
the...
very good, by the way. That
Shkaya.
was very good.
What does it do to the wine when you're holding the glass from... This is the bulb? This is what this part is called? The bulb in the
Maybe.
stem?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, let's call it
Okay,
that
so
way.
when you're holding it here, what does it do to the wine when the heat of your hand warms up the wine? Is it that
Well,
bad? What
every
does it
wine
do?
that you drink, once you come into a restaurant, let's say, all right, should be poured at the right temperature for that wine. If it's a white wine, it should be fairly cold at about 8 or 4 or 12, depending on the wine. And if it's a red, it should be around 18, 19 to 21, maybe. And then when you hold your glass,
It will
bowl,
change the temperature?
it will change the temperature of the wine.
We're
and
talking
then
Celsius, correct?
Yes.
And then maybe slightly change the aromas that come out of the wine. Basically, we're talking about as you warm up the wine, as you warm up anything, any aroma will just evaporate quickly.
We're with Irit and Zach. We're tasting wine. They're phenomenal wine makers here at Barkan. I am, what is this called again?
I don't know.
Swirling?
It
Safit.
smells
It's a
completely
fit.
different.
Yeah, well, that's the Mediterranean wine for us.
There's a salty smell. Is that possible?
Yeah, it is. It's
Did you
a
hear
blend.
that? I just recommended that there's a salty smell, and I was given a...
There was a buzzing in my ear.
I was given a yes. I was given a yes.
They're very
Yes.
polite.
Yeah.
These
I know,
wineries.
they're very fine.
No, but this wine was is a blend of completely different varieties. It's not Cabernet, it's not Merlot that everyone is used to. It's a blend of varieties called Marcelin, Caladoc,
Wow.
Pinotage, and Carignan.
Why is it less aromatic to me than the other one?
It's
Is that legitimate, that it would be less aromatic?
well, no, just give it a
Let's give
few
it some
more,
time.
a few more seconds.
Okay,
Okay.
I got plenty of time.
This might sound completely crazy, but I smell black licorice.
That sounds completely crazy.
No, that's actually quite accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, I do smell. It's kind of earthy and really interesting and kind of dark and.
There's something about this
Okay,
one.
just to note that we're bringing out the cheddar and the Merlot cheese.
Yeah.
And now, which one would complement this wine?
You should try it on your own and see what it feels like.
Yeah. Hey, jump right in. Don't ask for recognition.
exactly.
Don't ask for help. Jump right in.
You know what? All the cheddar's now for me. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
That's it. Okay. Excellent. Hold on.
The wild card I just tasted. The wild card of Safit.
What am I up to?
You don't remember which one you're supposed to be drinking?
I think it's this one.
Already, we just had 2 glasses.
We have to start labeling them. I think it's going to be this one for
Oh, wow.
the first glass of the Pesach Seder.
Yeah, I would give up the other one.
Yeah, I like this one.
Oh.
More. I like this one better.
Yeah. It's different because
It's
there
very
isn't
different.
any Cabernet or Merlot, the varieties that we're used to. It's completely different. It gives different flavors.
There's no,
Holding
what's
the
the
glass
word?
now.
There's no,
It's a good thing we're not flying the plane.
there's no kickback. There's no, you know what I'm saying?
aftertaste.
Not aftertaste. There's, I don't know, the other one had a kick to it at the end. This one, it seems to me, is
Bite.
being smoother.
Bite.
Right, it had a bite at the end, the other one.
And
All
this
right.
one is a bit
At the
I
end.
like this,
smoother.
yeah.
Yeah,
This
there's
is
probably
much smoother.
a bit less tannins just because of the varieties. When you
Okay, what are tannins? For everyone who there's a lot of tannins.
This is very good. Is the third one
okay.
better than this one? This is really good. I
You're
like this
asking
one
them
a
to
lot.
pick things?
You'll
It's
decide.
I know, but
different.
this one's
It's
really
different.
good.
Taste the cheddar, by the way. The
I will
cheddar
taste
with
the
wine
cheddar.
is insane.
So one thing, I can't get confused now. The Eitan was the first one. The Safit is the one I'm going crazy about.
Yeah.
Why is that
You
named
see that one?
Safit?
Safit.
It's the region.
Wow.
The vineyard is at a place called Tel Tzafit. So it's a little hill called Tzafit.
Hey, Leo, on West Englewood Avenue in Teaneck, New Jersey at Filler Up Wine. Make sure you have this one. It's called Safit Assemblage. You think he has it? Do you think he has it over there in
Yeah,
Teaneck?
You should
yeah.
have.
I hope so.
Yeah, I
Should've.
think so.
I hope so.
Wow, this
All
is
right.
good.
That's the second one. We have one more to go from this series. I think we just decided to stay here all day.
I think we just decided that ZK is driving home.
Okay. This one is
Reichan. It's a bit harder to say. in
Reichan. Do I have
English.
a...
Nope.
I need a
Oh,
glass.
more
You need a glass.
May I?
There you
There
go.
you go.
You gonna wash all the glasses? No.
Yeah, I plan on
You
it.
know what? I'm just gonna finish this glass. I don't want to make it feel badly.
Yeah.
All right, this is the Reichan. The word Reach is in there.
Yeah.
Aroma. Reach.
Well, it's a mountain, Reichan,
Yeah.
in the Upper Galilee, close to how do you say it? Moshav.
Moshav?
Which is, yeah.
Like a settlement or
Yeah.
What do
that-
we call it? The
didn't
city.
hear
a
I
village?
didn't hear it.
Well, yeah, like a
Village,
village,
correct.
I would say.
What was
Yeah,
the word?
that's called Reichania. So.
By the way, were all of these wines featured at the Kosher Food and Wine Experience?
Yeah. Yeah.
all
definitely.
the assemblages were there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Wow. I think we were.
Have you skipped them?
Have
I
you?
don't know.
I think we were
I
too-
like having our own kosher food and wine experience here ourselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
but when you sit here and
The other
when
one
you
was a
talk
lot more
about the
hectic.
wines and when you kind of notice them a bit more, they,
Yeah, then in
they
big
tend to be better.
shows,
Who
yeah.
represented Barkan then at the event?
I don't remember.
I'm
Who
not-
was in the United States? You know, who was at the big event there?
The CEO,
Oh yeah,
Shmuel Boxer, and he will
Shmuel
come.
Boxer was there.
Yeah, he usually there.
I'm enjoying this tremendously. Okay, so let's talk about this wine.
1 second, I'm doing my taste test and my aroma.
This
test.
one
Your
needs a
hands are
little
too close to
more
the bulb.
time to open up because there is about 70% Cabernet in it. So it's a bigger wine, a little bigger than the other ones.
Okay, so you're gonna find this very silly
No.
because it's
Let me
wide.
put down the glass and move the knife. Yes.
But the first, this is gonna be hilarious. What's the first thing I smelled when I smelled this? Grapes. Is the first thing.
That's very
you,
original.
Robert.
I really smell grapes. I'm not kidding. As if they'd be sitting here on the table in front of me.
Okay. Maybe we can edit that out. Okay.
The first thing I smelled was olive leaves.
Is there olive in here? For those of us allergic to olives, is that a problem?
I can't even take you seriously right now. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Okay.
No, but it's kind of green. It's really Cabernet style, like an Israeli Cabernet driven wine.
It
and it has
definitely-
that green element. And I specifically see it as
There's a
olive
bug in
leaves. I don't
mine.
know why, but it just comes to me.
I'm going to trouble you for a clean glass.
This is the one we're up to now.
And I need another one because there's
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's
we
two more
have
here.
plenty.
I want to tell you something.
there's a visitor in my glass.
Remember a moment ago I said the Eitan was the best of the three? Remember I said that?
Yes.
I am revising my opinion.
Oh.
Wow, you have commitment issues. Okay. If I'm looking at this one, so it's to me, it smells like the
That
aroma
is the
better
wrong
fills
one.
the entire glass.
This one. Is
That is the wrong one. Should be
the
drinking this one.
Reichan. You're supposed to take the
Here we
Reichan.
go.
Yeah,
Here we go.
that was
Okay,
Safit.
Paul passed me the wrong one.
Yep.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yep.
You're
Now
supposed
it's right here.
Yeah, that's the
Aroma.
Okay.
Here.
Okay.
Try this and stay out of trouble. Of the three, is this... I don't think this is an unfair question. Of the three, is this the most expensive? Or they're all
No,
basically
no,
the same
they're
price?
all the same.
They're all the same
What are
price?
and what are they priced? Just so that we have a.
Well, in
I mean,
in
are we
Israel,
buying enough of this for our entire Seder, or this is something for a special night?
It's about if I remember right, it's about $30 in the States for a bottle.
Okay.
About $30
I know
on the
some-
shelf.
I know people in my neighborhood
Yeah.
who would pay $30 easily for this.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
something
It's
about this wine.
it's a high level of, but it's
Mm-hmm.
will go sooner to the premium that goes higher.
Wow.
I like the. I like this, but I definitely like the second one better. What was the second one?
It's a
That's a
fit.
fit.
Yep. That one.
I disagree. I think this is the best
You
of
know
the
what?
three.
We don't have to agree on everything.
That's the more Bordeaux, old world kind of style. The third one, it's a blend of Cabernet, Merlot, and
Did you guys want
Shiraz.
cheese? We're hoarding it.
No,
over
no.
here a little bit.
We're okay.
Very
Oh, yeah.
good. By
We
the
do.
way,
We're
the
not
cheeses
sharing.
are made here in this, not in the winery, but in the region.
Well,
The
we
whole
should-
idea of the visitor center is to hold all the products that are made here in the region.
So we should ask about that. How has the winery impacted on tourism in this area or on other businesses in this area as well? Do you work together? Are you is there some kind of a cooperative?
Well, the
or
vineyard is a partnership.
Yeah,
Right,
the
the
vineyards with the kibbutz.
Right.
And
So that's a start right there.
yeah, yeah. So and we have vineyards all over the region. So we work with a lot, not only this kibbutz, but other kibbutzes and villages around. And we bring all the stuff that cheeses and jams and stuff like that people make. But really, how the tourists over here, we won't know. Really, we are stuck in the winery all day. So Nani will probably be the
So we
best
need
person.
Nini to come back.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got it. I got it.
All right, stay where you are. We're going to take a break now. We've had the Assemblage trio of wines, really good. I think if I was really pressed, it would be the Reichan. For you, it's the Tzafit, right?
It's a fight.
Whatever the second one
Yeah,
was.
for you, it was the Tzafit.
And the AA meeting starts in about an hour.
Very funny. More coming up. We're at the Barkan Winery with some amazing winemakers here at the Nachum Segal Network. It's the Nachum Segal Network. We're with Iri Tabaxer Shank, who is a winemaker, and Zach Meltzer, who is the youngest winemaker here at the Barkan Wineries. We're reminding our listeners, especially those of you who are traveling over this weekend and toward the beginning of the week, to Israel for Pesach. Don't forget the Barkan Vineyards Experience. Their Wine Experience Center is open. It's open the entire Chol HaMoed. You can come and enjoy it. Go to the website for information, barkan-winery.co.il, barkan-winery.co.il. I'll point out to both of you what I said off the air. The bars on the side of this facility are simply remarkable. I mean, this is not just a great wine facility in terms of what to taste, but it's just beautiful to see as well.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, and it is designed to get a whole bus in one time. That's why there is two
Right.
bars. on the
Two
inside.
long bars with the thought in mind that there are about 50 people on a bus, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Simple as that. That's how it works. All right, we went through an amazing series a moment ago. Zach, what do you have in front of you over there?
All right, the next series that we're going to taste is the Altitude series, which basically gives the differences of altitudes on the same variety. Okay, so we got Cabernet Sauvignon wines, from 3 different altitudes and 3 different vineyards across the country, mostly from the north. And we're going to try the 624, which is plus 624 meters above sea level, and the 720, which is again 720 meters above sea level.
And there's a great difference, huh?
There is a great difference, and I hope you can notice it.
Yeah, well, you know, an expert like myself, it won't pass me by without being noticed. That's
Absolutely.
Probably
Nothing gets
will.
by
The
you
other
when it
one.
comes to wine there, boss.
for sure. Nothing. We're trying which one first?
Oh, we'll give you both at the same time,
To
so you
compare.
can completely compare. And again, this is
Vakasha.
our premium
624.
series.
Verit Valak.
That's the
There you go.
720.
The 720.
So that's
On
the
the left.
720.
Shonim?
Oh, no,
720 on
this
the
is-
left.
720 on the
20 is
left.
on the
No.
left.
No, this is the same.
Okay.
Oh, those are the
This
same?
is the 720.
So this is the 720.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and that means this is the 624.
624. Yeah.
Okay.
I need post-it notes.
This is your 624, and this is your 720. For me, it's the opposite. I'll turn it around so we both have the same.
Sure.
thing.
Which one are we starting with?
The 624.
This is the left, right? 624 is the one on the left. The aroma, Miriam Wallach. The aroma.
The aroma. Okay,
Yes.
my bad. One
Don't
second.
underestimate the aroma. Very important.
I'm holding the glass properly now, Zach.
Well,
Yes, you are.
that's for Zach to judge, not for you to judge. Okay, here we go.
What are you missing? This one?
Okay, this is going to sound completely crazy, but when
Grapes.
Wine.
I do this a lot. When there's an aroma here like I'm smelling port. There is something in here.
Dessertish. There's some dessertish.
No, just port, specifically port.
Well, that's a dessert wine.
Well, that's like dry fruit, like dried plums.
Plums.
Yeah, a little bit of raisins.
Right,
a
something
little bit
in
of
there.
raisin, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That
And
heavy,
that comes
that kind
from-
of super sweet, whatever that is.
Yeah, very sweet, concentrated fruit.
Dried fruit.
Yep.
That's exactly it, but not as heavy as a port, which is
Yeah.
one of my favorite things to drink, and why not?
Yeah.
Right,
Why
exactly.
Completely. But that's from
But
the
you
624.
It's the raisins,
This is the
Yeah.
624.
right?
That
It's
is
the raisins.
624.
It's like
Yeah.
the raisins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's full of fruit.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
really fruit driven, and it just brings up those.
Doesn't
you know,
taste like port at all.
Doesn't taste like port. Probably
Yeah.
not as sweet.
No, it tastes
Completely
lighter.
dry. Yeah.
Well, it's not sweet.
Right.
That would be.
No, but also it tastes smoother.
Tastes.
telling you.
smooth.
There's also no sediment at the bottom, which is something I always find with port that throws me off a little bit.
It seemed like you were about to criticize my wine acumen, so watch yourself.
No, I was just smiling and nodding, or neither. Just
This
staring.
is the 720.
20.
We're
Yeah.
starting on the 720
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
The idea is as you go up
In sea
Uh,
level.
in the sea level,
Right.
In
you
the
get
height of the
cooler
vineyard.
climate. You
Right.
get just cooler climate, and cool climate will give different aromas to the fruit.
Oh, this is a much stronger aroma. This is a much.
It's less fruit. It's more like green herbs.
You smell the
More
field. You
herbaceous
smell the
wine.
vineyard here in this wine.
Definitely.
Miriam
Because
Wallach.
One second, I'm labeling the word.
You smell the vineyard in this one. I'm walking in the vineyard when I smell this wine.
You are not driving back.
I am walking in the vineyard as I smell
Well,
this wine.
that's why we gave you only 2 of them and not the 3, because we have more. And
Yeah, it definitely. It's greener.
it's
Exactly.
greener. Yeah, it's
You're getting it all right.
I hope we're getting my facial
It's
expressions
bothering
on
me
camera.
terribly. She's getting it all right today. Trust me, she's not usually this good at it.
I'm not this good at it. You know why? Because we're not doing whites. If we were doing whites, I'd have nothing to say. I don't drink white.
You should.
She's
I
such
don't
an
like
she's
white.
such an expert. She
I don't
doesn't
like
drink
white.
white wine.
I don't like white.
She's such an expert.
There's
She's
nothing
already
that
at the
makes
stage
me
where she.
more unhappy than a Chardonnay.
Wow.
And there are plenty of things
Listen
that
to
make me
this.
unhappy. I'll
Listen
be
to
honest
this.
with you.
Okay, that's
You never had the Barkan one.
I did not. I was not part of that first segment of the show. Thanks for pointing it out.
That was a good. That was a good one.
Yeah.
So here's my assessment. I'm having a lot of trouble putting it into words today. You know, sometimes we do the wine shows and it just flows out.
It could be the wine.
I'm having trouble putting it into words today,
I
but
like the first one better.
I like the second one
620.
better.
All right. So the
I like the
first
second one better.
First one, since it came from a lower region, incorporates a lot more fruit. It's a lot more
Yeah.
fruit driven. It's it has a lot of dried fruit.
It
and
seems
plums.
sharper to me, the first one. Like a sharpness that I don't have in the second one. No?
It's a bit more fresh, like more acidic.
That's
a little
what it
bit.
is.
That's the sharp. The a little more acidic to it, because of the fruit. But it's a lot of also like sweet spices, cinnamon,
Yeah, definitely the first.
cloves. Yeah.
Definitely
so
the first.
You said it first, huh?
Yeah, because it has that raisin kind
I like
of.
the second one. Maybe
All right,
because
that's the port element that you
Yes.
like. All right,
it
fair
tastes
enough.
milder. Maybe that's why I just it doesn't have as pronounced flavors, right?
Yeah, well, the second one is, since it is from a cooler climate,
Why are you laughing at me?
I have no choice.
What do you have no choice?
since it is
You
from
want
a
me
cooler
to teach you about
climate,
pronounced flavors?
Yes,
I'll
please-
teach you about
please do.
pronounced
Please do.
flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
sign up for
wonderful.
my course.
Well, it
Zach
is-
appreciates my my brilliance on this topic.
Zach is a gentleman.
Zach's
is
too
what it is.
polite. Zach's way too polite. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
What was I saying about the higher, the cooler
Right.
climate that it comes from? Basically, gives a lot more green elements to the wine. Tannins are a bit more pronounced, and as you taste the wines, you could feel that it is a bit. It kind of bites you a little bit more on the palate, and
So you're
it is a
saying-
bit bigger in a
So
way.
you're saying that the 7 would be the 7 what 20?
720.
You would say
720.
that one would have the bigger bite, and
Yeah.
yet I tasted both.
No,
Okay.
no, it's that one will need a little more time to age because of it. So,
Okay.
so it opens up a little later. That's why.
All right,
It opens up a little later, meaning what?
meaning have
It
it 10
may-
minutes from now.
And it's it age a little more.
Have it 10 minutes from now. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Definitely.
That's what it means. You open up the bottle, you let it sit for a while.
exactly.
When
And
you
if you-
start the Pesach Seder, don't open a bottle and then pour the first glass. Open a
depends on
bottle.
the bottle.
It depends on which
open
one.
Depends on
open
which
it
one.
at
And
the
20
beginning.
minutes later, you
Yeah.
pour the first
Or
one.
can
Just
you
open
pour the
all the
glass and
wines.
leave it alone?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
You can use a decanter. You can use just the bottle itself. You can use glasses. Just put it aside. If it's a good bottle, if it's like an Altitude Series bottle,
Just open
which
it
which
and
has
leave
been
it.
on oak for almost 2 years, it needs a bit of time to relax. You know. I
Don't
mean,
we all need a little time to relax?
You see, you should treat the wines as you treat yourself.
Exactly.
You cannot do this with a timer, correct? You cannot put a timer on a barrel. You have to always taste it in
Yeah.
order to
Yeah,
see.
definitely.
But you're saying 2 years, that's an average length, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But you have to go and taste it and
All the
determine for yourself if if it's now at its optimal strength, its optimal bouquet. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
you know all the terms.
We have 5,000 barrels behind
That's
us.
it? Just 5,000?
5,000
Slackers.
wine, wine barrels.
You need any help? You need any help with
And
this?
we taste all of them
With
all
time,
the time.
we will taste all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, all
Wow.
of them all the time.
How much tasting do you do a day, or there's no such
was
thing?
gonna
It,
ask.
it depends on the
Today I've been
depends.
through 64 this morning.
barrels.
Yeah.
And
We're
But it's
taking
only
we're
9:30.
taking
I've got yeah.
we're taking you away
I've
from
got
barrel
40
tasting.
more. I've got
Yeah.
40 more to
Yeah.
go through
Oh,
after
my
this.
word.
Yeah,
We're taking you away from barrel tasting. I
Yeah.
feel terrible.
But it's all right. I mean,
The
it's
barrels
okay.
can wait a little
I
bit.
can take a break.
Do you need
It
some
can
help?
be-
Do you want us to help out? Nachum's really good at
as
this.
as I was about to
Yeah.
say, it can be a pretty tedious work and kind of hard work.
It is.
Since I mean,
Yeah,
just
like anybody
try-
listening
but no
would
one
believe
believes
that.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people.
But no one believes
I'm
us.
telling people that I'm having tastings or barrel tastings, and then say, "Oh, you drink wines all day long, isn't it
Yeah, it's
fun?
fun,
Isn't it?
yeah.
Isn't it cool?"
But-
And-
But it's your tasting that determines the future of the wine, and whether
Completely. Yeah. Yeah.
at the end,
it's a big responsibility.
Yeah, it is.
We are drinking Altitude in New York and New Jersey based on what you felt when you eventually tasted that barrel of wine, essentially, right?
No
Yes,
pressure.
yeah.
That's essentially
The
what's going
entire
on.
time, the picking of the grapes is by tasting.
Right.
The fermentation is by tasting. Everything is by tasting.
Can we talk for a second about representing Israel at different wine?
Yeah, is that a big deal to you or not? Knowing that you're representing the state of Israel, the people of Israel, when you go to wine shows, and for us, it's like a very big deal. We're always encouraging people to buy Israeli wines. It's a very big topic for us to support the Israeli economy. Is there that element for you, or that doesn't really enter into the whole
Yeah,
thing?
of course. I went one time. There is one store in Manhattan who has Israeli section. Yeah, not kosher, Israeli section. I go a lot. I do it twice a year. Go
Right.
to New York, New Jersey, and go through all the stores. And there is one, and that's like my favorite. To see Israeli
has an
section and not
Israeli
a kosher
section.
one. Yeah.
Very nice.
So people will go and buy Israeli wine, not
That's
kosher
amazing.
wine.
Right, and from what I know, if I'm thinking of the same store, it's a very large place, right? It's a very large that prides itself on having wines from around the world. So Israel having a section there is obviously a very big thing. All right, let's take one more break, and then we'll do one more segment. We could do one more segment of tasting. We have
Yeah.
Sure.
No, no.
There are
you wanna
40
do
other
some-
bottles on the table.
You want to do
We have
some
a lot more on the
You want to
table,
do some whites?
Sure.
You'll do some white wine?
Whatever you want.
Well, what can I tell you?
It's your network.
I want to introduce you to some good, high-quality stuff,
Okay.
as recommended by our friends back in the United States, to visit the Barkan vineyard, the Barkan experience, the Barkan winery. You could do the same thing, especially as we keep recommending. Do it this coming week during Chol Hamoed Pesach. So many of our listeners are going to be in Israel. Barkan-winery.co.il. Barkan-winery.co.il. Irit and Zach will join us for one more segment coming up as we continue to review some of the wines. If you're in the New York, New Jersey area, or anywhere in the United States that has a good wine store, you can find the Altitude series that we know. We've seen it there before. It is also an amazing recommendation. Check it out for the upcoming holiday. This is the Nachum Segal Network. We are at the Barkan Winery. I remind everybody that we are going to continue to recommend to our listeners the Barkan Experience at the Wine Experience Center here in Israel. You can join the Barkan Experience on Chol Hamoed Pesach. That's right. It's just about a week or so away, believe it or not. Barkan-winery.co.il. Barkan-winery.co.il. Joining our incredible team of wine tasters and winemakers, Irit and Zach, is the CEO of the Barkan Winery, and that's Shmuel Boxer. Shalom, and thank you very much for having us here.
Shalom and welcome to Israel.
I greatly appreciate that. You have seen this winery grow to this amazing and incredible facility. It must be the most remarkable feeling for you to get to this point.
You see, this winery is like one of my children. I didn't see how it's go. I started it from the beginning.
Wow.
When I started, it was very small, and now we grow. And now we are number one in Israel by all definitions. We are bigger than Carmel, and we are about 25% of all the wine market in Israel.
You are the biggest, the largest in Israel.
In Israel, yeah.
I hope people out there who have a historical perspective of the wine industry in Israel understand how unbelievable a statement that is, and how incredible a statement that is.
It's incredible. It was in my future plans,
Right.
But we achieved much better than the plans.
Right.
When we started in 1990, 25 years ago, we crushed 1,700 tons of grapes. That's all.
Right.
This last harvest, 2014, we crushed 13,800 tons. So it's 25% of all the capacity in Israel, and now we can proudly say that we are the biggest.
Where was the facility in 1990?
The facility was in Barkan, in Samaria, when we started, and we started the movement from there in 2000 because the place was not big enough. We didn't have land to expand.
Right.
To increase the winery, and so we started moving in 2000. It took us almost 8 years because we built and we move facilities.
Right.
And we finished the movement in 2008. Now you can see.
It's remarkable, and there are major companies, and I don't have to give out the details to everybody out there, but there are major companies who are now with you in this amazing investment of Barkan, and they've achieved a status in the Israeli economy, in the Israeli business world that's amazing.
Yeah.
In addition to that, you enjoy an incredible following outside of Israel. I know this because I'm based in the New York, New Jersey area, but all over the United States you have an incredible following. To what do you attribute this amazing desire that people have, kosher wine drinkers have, for Barkan wines outside of Israel?
You know, at the beginning, there was a lack of grapes in Israel. But I always looked to the export, and I focused on the Jewish communities all over the world. And of course, the biggest market is USA.
Right.
And I invested wines that we didn't have enough for the Israeli market in the export markets, because I looked, you know, we are the Jews, we look
down the road.
Back 1,000 years, and in the front 10s and 100 years.
Right,
so
exactly.
And I saw that, and I thought that the future is not only Israel. The future is the whole world.
Right.
And we started to invest in the American market, and we started from nothing. Zero wine in America.
I assume
And-
in the New York area, most likely.
And thank God, yes, we start, of
Right.
course, with the New York area, and
Right.
then New Jersey, and then now we are selling in 48 states.
There are 48
Eight
states
states in
that,
America.
that sell Barkan wine.
Even Alaska and Hawaii.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, you name
now
it.
we can go to Hawaii. Shmuel,
Now you can go to Hawaii, to Alaska, of course, Florida, the big places, of course, but 48 states.
Shmuel Boxer is
Yeah.
with us, CEO of the Barkan Winery. I hope that our younger team of winemakers are not going to be intimidated to offer their opinion while you're sitting here about this incredible wine we're about to taste.
You know,
I hope they're not going to be shy to give their opinion in front of you.
It's no problem.
Because
you
I know I'm already feeling it.
I push them forward. I think that they are the future of the winery.
And you want them
Yeah.
to.
Otherwise, they will not sit here.
That's
I will be
true.
alone here.
That's a good point.
Yes.
Could you tell our audience what
Yeah.
we're going to be tasting? Why this is considered to be one of the premier Barkan wines?
We are testing now the Barkan Superior,
Right.
2011. This is our top wine, our flag wine. This is our best wine.
This is the one everybody wants.
Everyone, but not everyone can afford it.
Right.
But of course, everyone wants to be
They want number
to
one.
yes, number one. This is our number one wine in Barkan Winery, and this wine that we produce only in special years. It's the winemakers that decide and make the blend, and I only drink it.
That's the one you like to drink.
Yes, I'm on the good side of the business.
I was only half joking earlier. We were
Yeah.
discussing some wines that are only available in limited supply, and I was
Yeah.
joking about people. Not only joking, because it is true that some people like to buy up those cases and save them.
Yeah.
Is this one that would necessarily be in limited supply, or even a number one wine like this could be many tens of thousands of cases?
No. This is always it's limited.
It has to be a limited supply. It's so
It's
special.
not has to. This kind is limited because if you are going to the highest and the top quality,
Right.
you cannot have even with our big numbers of grapes and bottles. To have this quality, you must maintain the best of the best. You know,
Understood.
there are years that we don't produce this wine,
Right.
Because all even all over the Israel country and all over our vineyards. Not every we can find this quality.
Right. And those seasons, people are very disappointed.
So what we can do, we can do with this wine only the top.
All right, Irit, are you ready to explain to us what we're going to be smelling and tasting in this wine?
Yeah, definitely.
What do we got? What is the?
Well, first
can
of
you
all,
tell
it's
us?
a Cabernet Sauvignon. It is 90% Cabernet Sauvignon. It has a little bit about 60% Merlot and 4% Petit Verdot,
Okay.
which is kind of the traditional Bordeaux blend. The idea adding the Merlot and the Petit Verdot to the Cabernet will give it a little bit of roundness, a little bit of more fruit-driven, just mellow the edges. That's of the Cabernet.
I
Cabernet
already
is a big-
smell the fruit in it. I mean, I
Yeah.
already that I've got.
Yeah.
You know, Shmuel, I'm no expert, but I'm learning here at the Barkan Winery. I'm getting a tremendous education,
You-
and I already smell the delicious fruit aroma.
So come every month.
I should.
Be our
I,
guest.
I should make it a regular
Yeah.
assignment to
With
come and
ple-
learn
with-
more.
With pleasure. With
Zach,
pleasure.
anything on the aroma you want to
Yeah.
tell us?
I think that this wine just brings everything to your nose. It brings oak, it brings sweetness, it brings vanilla and cinnamon and oak and some nuttiness and good fruit. And it just has so much.
There's a lot of fruit in there.
There's a lot going on in general. Once you have a sniff, you can think about it for like
Right.
30 minutes and then try to think for yourself what you smell, what you get from it.
Shmuel
I just
L'chaim.
love it.
L'chaim, L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Everybody enjoy. This is the
And Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach, Chag Kasher, Chag Sameach, Barkan Vineyard Superior 2011. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Amazing wine.
That is a good
Yeah.
wine. That is a good wine.
Yes.
Miriam, what do you think?
It's not only promise, It's
Oh, yeah, it's a
give you the
guarantee.
yes.
I'm very much enjoying the wine, and I'm enjoying it with the two cheeses that are down here that I haven't decided whether or not I'm sharing them with you at the other side of the table. But this cheese called Daphne, which I've never had before. The Machengo I've had, but the Daphne I've never had, and it has sage in it. Oh, bay leaves. Sorry, bay leaves. My bad. And it also has a different kind of texture, so it's a little bit flakier. It's a little bit crummier kind of a thing, and it's a perfect pairing with this wine.
Wow.
And Zach is nodding in approval.
Yeah.
I just got a gold star from Zach.
You're getting a good grade.
Yeah.
That I'm good at.
I remind everybody that that the Barkan Superior 2011 is the perfect way to start the Pesach Seder.
Yes,
right?
of
Perfect
course,
way.
of course.
If you want to impress your guests, if there are 30 or 40 people at your table, and you want to impress your guests, you make sure there's a case of Barkan Superior 2011 behind the front chair of your dining room.
Or if there are people you don't like
you.
at your Seder, you might want to have this also.
If you don't like them, don't have them in the Seder.
Well, family is family there.
So there you have it. We've had an amazing opportunity to taste some wines today. This one, as you say, is superior.
Yeah.
I normally, I would ask you, as of course the CEO, about future plans, but I don't know. It seems like you're at the top already. I don't know if there are any future plans.
You know, there is always
Is there more to
something
grow?
wish.
There's
Yes.
more to grow.
Yes, there's more to go. Now we are planning the expanding of the winery in 2016.
Wow.
We want to
On this
increase-
spot where we are.
in this place.
Right.
Yes, we want to increase the capacity in around 15 to 20% more. But you know, we have the market. We built the market for years outside Israel,
Right.
and of course in Israel now we are number one.
Right.
And there is a place, you know, all over the world. I'm selling a lot of wines, not only to the Jewish community. I'm saying in East Europe, in Russia, Ukraine, Czechia, Slovakia, Poland.
They
in
want good tasting wine.
Yes, in the Far East, in China, Hong Kong, and you know, even in China, I sell wine with Hebrew letters because it's unique.
Right.
It's unique.
And they enjoy
Of course, they are all kosher for all the wine, and you know, there is always place for a good wine with fair value, money for it, and the wine is good.
Right. The entire range you have.
Yeah.
You have the very affordable for everybody out there. Obviously, as we've been indicating, there are wines for those who really know their wine as well, for them to enjoy. Shmuel, toda rabah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for
Pleasure.
coming.
I will send best regards to the United States.
And then have everyone has a happy holiday and Chag Pesach Kasher v'Sameach.
Amen. And
Amen.
everybody who's coming to Israel could spend some time at the Barkan Vineyard and Winery at their beautiful Barkan experience. So go to the website at barkan-winery.co.il. Iri, toda rabah lach. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
An amazing day here so far. And Zach, thank you so much for joining us as well.
Thank you for having me.
A great pleasure to have you here and to taste some wines. More coming up. We'll do our final segment from the Barkan Winery. This is the Nachum Segal Network. Final moments at the Barkan Vineyards, the Barkan Winery, the Barkan Experience here in Israel. I want to thank all of our special guests. Earlier, we had the opportunity to speak with the chief winemaker, Ed Solzberg. I thank him. Shmuel Boxer, who is the CEO of Barkan, was with us a few moments ago, and I thank him. Earlier today, we spoke with Nani Vandenberg, who is the head wine guide. She is the person that you want to make sure to meet when you come here during Pesach. Chol Hamoed, the Barkan Vineyards experience is open. The Wine Experience Center is amazing. You are going to find an incredible facility. Information, you can go to barkan-winery.co.il, barkan-winery.co.il. And the two people in charge of our tasting segment, which is always the most popular segment of all our wine shows, I want to thank Irit Boxer-Shank and Zach Meltzer. Thank you both very, very much. In charge of educating us in the world of wine. And that's not an easy task, trust me. That was their responsibility today. I feel bad, but hey, they've earned their salary today, I can tell you that much. I want to thank Jay Buxbaum, the #1 kosher wine sommelier on planet Earth, who, of course, highly recommended that we come visit the Barkan Winery and experience all this. A big thank you to Shimon Weinberg and, of course, to Yochi Herzog and Matti Herzog, our friends at Kedem Royal Wine, who are always instrumental when it comes to wine travel for us at the Nachum Segal Network. And a big thank you again to TravelCell for keeping us connected to the United States, to the Inbal Hotel, our base here in Israel, and of course to the PC Guide. Check out thepcguide.co.il. I want to thank Paul Sirkin for all his assistance. He does not only have a week's worth of work like people like myself, Miriam, and ZK have when we come to Israel. He's planning everything a month in advance so that everything goes smoothly when we get to the Holy Land. So I thank him very, very much. We'll do our final goodbyes from the Barkan Winery. Don't forget the website, barkan-winery.co.il. This is the Nachum Segal Network. A big thank you to our friends at the Barkan Winery. Again, check out the website, especially if you're coming here for Pesach to the Holy Land. It's barkan-winery.co.il, barkan-winery.co.il. This is the Nachum Segal Network.
Ah